The rain had been falling since morning, quietly pattering against the windows of the small two-story home in Portland, Oregon. Inside, Laura Bennett, a 43-year-old single mother, sat at the kitchen table staring at a half-finished cup of coffee. The steam had long vanished, leaving only the cold reminder of a morning gone wrong. Her son, Ethan, 17, had left the house earlier with a storm on his face that matched the weather outside. They had argued again, not about anything new, just the same circle of misunderstandings that had grown between them since her husband, Mark, passed away 2 years ago. Life had not been easy since then. Ethan had gone from being an easygoing, cheerful boy to a quiet, withdrawn teenager who spent most of his time locked in his room. Laura tried to understand him, but sometimes her words came out harsher than she intended. That morning, when Ethan had slammed the door and walked off into the rain, her heart had ached. She knew she'd said too much. "Take it easy, son," she whispered to herself, too late for him to hear it. By afternoon, the rain had softened to a drizzle. Laura decided she couldn't sit and wait anymore. She grabbed her coat and car keys, determined to find him. She found Ethan sitting alone at the edge of the riverside park, hoodie soaked, sneakers muddy. His phone was in his hands, but he wasn't scrolling. He was just staring at the screen, at an old family photo of the three of them before Mark's accident. Laura parked and approached quietly. "Hey," she said softly. Ethan didn't look up. "What are you doing here, Mom?" "I came to bring you home," she replied, her voice trembling. "And to say I'm sorry." He sighed, still looking at the photo. "You don't have to be sorry all the time, Mom. I don't know who to talk to anymore." Laura sat beside him on the wet bench, ignoring the chill. "You can always talk to me," she said gently. "Even if you think I won't understand." Ethan's shoulders tensed. "It's not that easy. You're strong, Mom. You keep everything together. I feel like I'm just messing things up." Laura reached out, placing her hand on his arm. "You're not messing anything up, Ethan. You're trying to figure life out, just like I am. You lost your dad too. It's okay to be angry, sad, or confused." Finally, he looked at her. His eyes were red, not from tears but from holding them back for too long. "I miss him," Ethan said quietly. "Every day." "I know," she whispered. "So do I." They sat in silence, just the rain filling the pauses that words couldn't. That night, Laura made Ethan's favorite dinner, spaghetti with homemade sauce. It wasn't much, but the smell filled the kitchen with warmth. Ethan helped her set the table without being asked. As they ate, the tension slowly faded. The house, once filled with the echoes of silence, now had the sound of plates clinking and the quiet comfort of being together. After dinner, Ethan said, "I think I'm gonna go for a drive tomorrow, just to clear my head. Maybe visit Dad's grave." Laura nodded. "I'll come with you, if that's okay." He smiled slightly. "Yeah. I'd like that." The next morning was bright, the air crisp and clear after the rain. They drove together to Willow Grove Cemetery, where Mark's grave rested beneath an old oak tree. Ethan knelt and brushed away a few fallen leaves. "Hey, Dad," he said quietly. "I know I haven't been around much, but I'm trying." Laura stood behind him, her hands clasped together, whispering a prayer. Ethan turned to her. "Mom, can I ask you something?" "Of course. Do you think Dad would be proud of me?" Her voice softened, her eyes glistening. "He already was, Ethan. Every day. And he still would be. You have his kindness, his strength, and his heart." For the first time in a long while, Ethan smiled, a real, genuine smile. He stood up and hugged her tightly. Laura held him close, whispering, "Take it easy, son. You don't have to carry the world alone." He nodded against her shoulder. "I'll try." In the following weeks, things began to change. Ethan started spending more time downstairs, helping Laura in the garden, and even joining her for evening walks. They talked about school, friends, and memories, sometimes laughing, sometimes quiet, but always honest. One afternoon, Laura found Ethan painting in the garage, something he used to love as a kid. "That's beautiful," she said, admiring the canvas of a river flowing through a forest. "It's called New beginnings, Ethan said with a shy grin. I think Dad would have liked it. He would have loved it, she said proudly. Months passed, and the bond between them grew stronger than ever. The pain never fully vanished, but it softened into something gentle, a reminder of love that never left. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, they sat together on the porch, watching the light fade. You know, Mom, Ethan said thoughtfully, I used to think you were the strongest person in the world. Laura smiled. Used to, he chuckled. Still do. But now I think maybe being strong doesn't mean not crying. It just means not giving up. She nodded, touched by his words. That's exactly right. Ethan leaned back in his chair. I'm glad we're okay now. Laura looked at him, her heart full. We're more than okay. We're a team. Later that night, she passed by his room. The door was open, the light still on. Ethan was asleep at his desk, sketchbook open beside him. Laura smiled and quietly covered him with a blanket. As she turned off the light, she whispered again, take it easy, son. This time, the words didn't feel like regret, they felt like peace.